Alright guys, Love Don't Be Shy Extreme, it's out and I've been using it. I picked up the bottle from Saks about almost a week ago and I've used up quite a bit. As you can see, the juice is kind of going down, and also if you look at the juice, the color is different in comparison to the original Love Don't Be Shy. And of course, this is also a little different in comparison to pre-2019 formulation of Love Don't Be Shy. So there are changes here, not only in this one, which I did a video about already, and then also this one today in this video. So I'll let you know all about Love Don't Be Shy Extreme from by Kilian, and of course, how does it compare to the original Love Don't Be Shy? All coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. Yes, I'm enjoying the smell. It's not one that I'm really loving because I'm obsessed with the way the original smells pre-2019 reformulation. But I feel like this particular version, something about it almost clashes for me. But it's going down pretty easy also. The thing is, the whole extreme thing, for me, it's more of a change up of the smell rather than making it an extreme. Extreme to me usually refers to something being extreme version of it. And this one we're given something that the smell has changed about. That's the extreme we got with this one. So, you know, I'm not disappointed with the smell, but it's not really working for me because I feel like the note that they've added here clashes with the original smell of the fragrance. But I'm going to let you know all about it, as I said, and also let you know how it compares to this. Intensity, concentration, all that good stuff. But before I get to the review, if this is your first time tuning into my channel and you still haven't subscribed, please do click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So by Kilian, Love Don't Be Shy Extreme just came out and I got really excited about it, but also disappointed in the, in the background. I was thinking, God, what have they done? I mean, is this kind of like a marketing, ploy for us? Because we had a great fragrance in the original Love Don't Be Shy. All the way back to 2012 is when I remember first smelling it. Since then, I've been buying refills of the fragrance up until 2018 when I bought my first black bottle. In 2020, they changed the colors of the bottles, but I noticed in 2019, in the middle of 2019, that there was already some reformulation things happening. I even complained to Saks. I said, look, I bought a refill. This is nothing like the original. The color of the juice is kind of like a pale, kind of a creamy salmon colored color, where the original juice was like this really deep, dark, reddish orange. What happened? Also, the smell was a little different in comparison to it because I've been buying this fragrance for so long that now I get this like weak version of the original. Very, very disappointed. So that Rihanna article came out in 2019 in the summer. I did a video and I noticed that the video views were really jacked up and people were talking about it. A lot of people were hyping the fragrance, and from what I was discussing with Saks, their sales were over the roof, like they were selling a ton of juice, and then all of a sudden there was a shortage, like people just overbought because that article about Rihanna, how Love Don't Be Shy is her favorite fragrance, was not only on one fashion magazine's website, but multiple, and it was just all over the web. So I almost felt like something was done to generate this demand for this fragrance, and then all of a sudden to reformulate it and then give us an extreme version of it. But for me, it doesn't match the smell of the original. It doesn't. Yes, it is a little extreme, not a lot, in comparison to the original. It lasts a little longer than this one, but not a lot because they're both eau de parfum concentrations. They kind of almost work the same to me, but in the end, I'm experiencing a lighter version of the fragrance I'm so used to here, and here we have a little bit of an extreme version with this, but not a lot. So by Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy Extreme is a 2021 launch. It just came out probably within the last 15 days. 50 ml bottle is $2.75, and again, it's an eau de parfum concentration, not extrait de parfum concentration. Per mil price for this is $5.99 per mil after you add taxes, and a Calice Becker is the Perfumer. And this is the negative part about by Kilian's extreme versions of fragrances. When we've got eau de parfum concentrations, why don't they give us an extrait de parfum concentration juice for an extreme when you're actually charging us more than the original fragrance, That's kind of a disappointing part, because when When some brands make an extreme version or an intense version, they generally jack up the concentration. Not all the time, but they generally do. But here we have a higher priced fragrance, but we're also still getting Eau de Parfum. But the notes with this one are Neroli, Orange Blossom, Rose, and Marshmallow. So what have they done is they've added Rose in this one. This one is only Neroli, Orange Blossom, and Marshmallows. And as I said, I'm absolutely in love with the way this smells. Growing up in the Middle East, you get to use Orange Blossom water in, desserts and cooking and things like that. Also, you get to use rose water in desserts and cooking and things like that. So a lot of foods are flavored with these kind of notes. And when I first smelled this one, I thought that smells like a dessert I used to eat when I was a little kid. And occasionally I do when I visit my mom. So it reminds me, it's a familiar smell that I love. It's comforting, when you're reminded of food and cooking, it's comforting. And that's why I was a fan of this one right at the start when I first smelled it back in 2012. And since then, as I said, I've been buying the refill bottles, but that dramatic change in the summer of 2019 where I returned my refill bottle that I had bought from Saks, complaining that, wow, this is such a dramatic difference smell-wise and also concentration-wise and color-wise, because it felt like it was a weaker version of it. I had found another bottle of the refill in the darker juice, so thankfully I was able to exchange it. But finally, I think since last summer, in the new white bottle, I think it's completely reformulated. The fragrance has received this reformulation. Was it on purpose so that we can receive an extreme version of it? Because what we had originally was extreme to me. It's much more extreme than this. I know that for a fact. But here, with this one, when you first spray it, it smells like original Love Don't Be Shy, but like not even a few minutes later, the rose starts kicking in. The rose doesn't spray right away for me, and so once the rose starts kicking in, then I'm thinking, this smells a little different. Yeah, it does, because when I first bought the fragrance, that was the experience. I hadn't looked up notes, and I wasn't expecting rose to be added to this. So they're giving us a curveball, and I'm thrown in a curveball. It's like I wasn't expecting that kind of thing. So the rose in here has a very jammy quality, syrupy, but also there's some green touches in there, almost like they're using the stems of the rose, or also it's reminding me of perhaps there's the note of petitgrain in here, which is the leaves of the orange tree. Might as well do it, right? I mean, Memo Paris did it recently with their fragrance called Sintra. They launched a fragrance Sintra, which reminds me of the Love Don't Be Shy fragrances. And of course, they've thrown in that petitgrain note in there, so there is a green touch. I get it a little bit here, not a lot, but there is some green hints in here. But it's mostly about the rose with the orange blossom and neroli currently. And going back to my Middle Eastern upbringing and using orange blossom water and rose water in cooking, I've combined the two in cooking several times, but I've always felt like the two combined together clashed somehow as a flavoring for food. So I never combined those two flavors together, never did. So here for me, it does clash a little bit. The rose doesn't really complement the orange blossom and neroli. It throws me off, because I kept wanting to experience this one. I love the way this one smells in the original form, much more than the current form, but the rose is just throwing me in that curveball that I'm like thinking, do I like this? Yeah, I like it. Do I love it? No, I don't love it. That kind of a thing. So this is a lot of information I'm throwing out at you guys, but let me know your thoughts on this particular fragrance. What are your thoughts about the original Love Don't Be Shy? Current formulation in the white bottle, pre-formulation in the black bottle, and now Love Don't Be Shy Extreme. What are your thoughts about it? Now, I want to go back and talk a little bit about the performance of this one, because we are dealing with different versions of a fragrance. Extreme, yeah, it acts a little stronger than this one. A little, not a lot. And the reason this one's not acting as strong as it used to be is because I know for a fact it smells like it's been reformulated. Here, it's acting a little stronger, but not a lot. It doesn't act like an extreme fragrance. And it doesn't have to be like beast mode or anything, and I don't expect that from by Kilian fragrances. I really do not, because their fragrances, all of them, are not the loudest fragrances. They don't have the biggest projection, so they're not beast mode for me. And it's fine the way they are. It's fine. And by Kilian is a great brand. I absolutely love some of their fragrances. I don't love the fact that they discontinue a lot of them, but I have been enjoying a lot of their fragrances. But I feel like personally, almost like purposefully done to, you know, start this like big hype train on this fragrance with Rihanna, then reformulate around the same time, because like I said, I noticed the first reformulation in a refill bottle in this kind of like pinkish, salmonish, orange kind of creamy color. So I noticed it at that time. Luckily, I was able to find a stronger bottle of the refill. But now it is 100% redone. So was it planned to be launching an extreme to give us something to do, you know, like is it planned to be reformulated so that they can give us an extreme version? Because, you know, if they gave us an extreme version pre-formulation of this, I don't think I would have said I need an extreme version, because the fragrance on its own, it was really, really strong. So for me, it feels like it's just planned out, but I don't know. I'm just speculating and just, you know, sharing my complete thoughts with you guys. But overall, you know, I'm not disappointed at the smell. I'm being overly critical here, but you know, when you love a fragrance so much and now it's changed, and then immediately after that they give you an extreme version, you kind of wonder what these brands are like doing in the background to try and you know, get us to enjoy fragrances, you know? I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Some of you will not agree with me, but let me know what your thoughts are about this particular fragrance, what's happened to the original Love Don't Be Shy, and also the comparison of these two fragrances. And lastly, there's a video I did late last year, right when Memo Paris Sintra came out, for alternatives of this fragrance. If you care to watch, it's on the channel. You can go ahead and search by Kilian Love Don't Be Shy or Memo Paris Sintra. You can find it. And then also one other video I did in comparison of this one to Pays de la Fleur d'Oranger. They have a fragrance called Neroli Blanc Intense. You can go catch those videos, because I really do love this whole style. You know, the orange blossom creamy vanillic kind of a experience is really, really something, as I said, I grew up with, and it's very, very cozy and comforting. And spending time around orange trees and having desserts that smell like orange blossom and neroli, it's a heavenly thing. Last thing, there's a video I did that I give you the recipe of making your own orange blossom water flavored ice cream. You can search the channel to find out all about it. But you know, I'm not disappointed as this. It doesn't really act like an extreme. It doesn't smell too much like the original, because I think the rose kind of just ruins it for me. I don't hate rose. I think it just doesn't work in this fragrance. So that's why it's not an instant love when the original was an instant love dating back to 2012. Anyway, thanks so much for watching today's video. Put some comments down so I can find out what are your thoughts about these two fragrances. Please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.